back to River City Runs Red, our Vampire the Masquerade chronicle here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. I'm your storyteller, Aloysius, here with two of my lovely players. Unfortunately, Jen is sick, so they will not be joining us this evening, but hopefully it'll still be a good time. I'll let you two fight over who wants to introduce yourselves first.
T, you can go first.
Yay! My name is Tiara, or I also go by T. I play Yvain Mallory, a lovable girl failure from Clan Ministry that is up to no good currently.
Yes, she's in her rebel era.
Hey, I'm Tom. Playing Ephraim, a Malkavian DJ. Although he's almost becoming like a part-time DJ. He's been told he might be getting a new job working for the Malkavian clan. So we'll see where that takes him.
Yeah, so when last we left off, our kindred, Delilah was doing some reconnecting with her sire, getting some nice sire-child bonding time going on, however brief it was. And Ephraim was having a less good time of things, having a full-on mental breakdown, thinking he's losing his mind, before conversing with several people who were doing their best to reassure him, which ultimately ended with him talking to the Malkavian Primogen and getting a little more control over his premonitions, or at least more of an understanding about them. And also, he was offered a potential position as the clan whip for Clan Malkavian. And we'll see what he ends up doing with that. Oh, and also in your premonitions, you got a better glimpse of that tall, mysterious figure.
I know what his cologne smells like now.
Yeah. Yes.
Armani, number 5.
Yes. With a hint of wild oleander.
And capitalism. So, glad to hear the world. That's exciting.
And while all that was happening, we're going to actually cut to Yvain, who had a predetermined meeting with Merrick Kroll, who wanted to go over more about the crime scene and what he had potentially uncovered and what she may have potentially uncovered.
Uh-oh.
And from what I recall, I believe you invited him over. Did you? I'm assuming you invited him over to the coterie haven and not your personal haven.
I do remember that part, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it was to the coterie haven.
Yes. All right. Just wanted to clarify that that's what you were talking about. So, in the meantime, before he showed up, are you up to anything? Are you? What's Yvain's mentality, especially after recent events at a certain restaurant with her sire?
Well, this is the following night, correct?
Yes.
You know how like sometimes you get a rush of like, hell yeah, victory when you finally get one over on someone who's constantly getting one over on you.
Mm-hmm.
But how if you're extremely anxious, the next time you've calmed down, maybe slept on it and can think a little bit more clearly, like not, influenced by your emotions, you're like, oh shit, she's currently sitting on the floor going, oh, what have I done? I haven't gotten anything from him at all since I met him yesterday. Oh fuck. Oh, what if he's pissed? Oh God, what am I gonna do? So she's currently like having a she's currently having a moment.
Yeah, just having a little breakdown.
Yeah, she's holding her she's holding I almost said text phone. Oh Lord, it's been a long week. She's holding her cell phone. And she's just kind of like I think maybe she sent like a message maybe not too like an hour ago or something saying I will keep you updated with any more information I find out about this current thing I'm looking into. And I think it's just like left on red.
Yeah, I concur. It is just left on red.
So she's just looking at that and she's just like praying for the 3 dots to like pop up on the phone maybe. And they never do. So she gets stuck doing that for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then essentially goes, "Oh, I have someone coming over. I was supposed to make sure everything was like in good shape." It is. It's fine. But she just starts busy cleaning essentially to take her mind off of it.
Yes, and also Yvain is currently at the Coterie Haven alone because Delilah is out on personal business, and as we all know, Ephraim wouldn't be caught alive or dead here unless absolutely necessary. So
yeah, maybe she also texted Ephraim like, "Hey, do you want to hang out for a little bit?"
What time of night is it?
This would be in the middle of Ephraim's whole mental crisis that he was having.
No. It goes on red. Sorry.
Yvain just goes, truly, I'm alone with my thoughts. And yeah, so she'll just kind of like wait to receive word from Merrick that he's on his way, essentially. At least, and then she's like, I don't even know if he's actually going to be like, I'm on my way. He might just show up. We did discuss that.
And almost on cue, you hear a knock at the door.
All right. So I think what happens is she essentially is in the middle of vacuuming. She starts going, she yells like, 1 second, and then starts heading to the door, forgets she has to turn off the vacuum, goes back for it, knocks the vacuum over. There is a loud crash. It's just, he just hears her going, "Shit! Damn it! Okay, all right, it's fine. And I can replace that, it's fine." And by the time she gets to the door, she's just kind of holding a few pieces of broken, like, I don't know, like a broken vase or something. She's like, "Hi! Good evening."
You open the door, and he's very much in like relative casual wear, at least from what you've seen from him. He's just in a polo and some jeans, and he seems to be holding a folder under one of his arms, and he says, "Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay?"
I am fine. Come on in. Just, just tidying up. Yep. Well, kind of. I am now anyways. And she'll kind of move out of the way, and then she'll like jog over to where the other pieces of the broken vase are and just say, "Don't worry about that." And she's kind of just pushing them to the side, like under an end table for right now.
Okay.
And she moves the vacuum cleaner in front of that, so it's hidden.
Yeah, and he will step into the haven and close the door behind him, and look over at you, just sweeping your mess away, so it's a little less shameful, and just says, "Do you need assistance with that, or want assistance with that?"
There's a lot of things I want assistance with, but let's not worry about this. This is not important. Just pretend you never even saw it happen. Why don't you take a seat? Yeah? Get comfortable. Don't even worry about it. It didn't happen. She gets up and she sits down.
Okay, and he will sort of look around and sort of mull over where to sit before just deciding on like the couch, sort of like adjacent to you,
Mm-hmm.
and says, "Is there anything you did need assistance with, based off of your apologies, somewhat manic tone?"
Elaine kind of falls silent for a moment. She was about to just immediately say no. And then, like, I think it's the rush of thoughts about that weird exchange with her sire. And wondering now, like, is she on his shit list? Because that's just what she needs. Because now, what? Like, he will probably won't talk to her for the next 10 years. Who knows? He's really petty sometimes. Um, and she's like, haha, no. But how can I help you? We're here about this case. Me assisting you. Let's jump right into it.
As you wish. Well, after we were done with the crime scene, I took some time and I talked more with Opal, and apparently, because I wasn't able to look at the first crime scene, but Opal had been there, and when I told her about these missing body parts, apparently that wasn't the case at the first crime scene.
Oh, that's...
The rest of it was relatively similar, along with the graffiti and the states of the bodies, aside from the one we had found in the closet. But they weren't missing anything. They were just killed. So
That makes me think that, what do they call it in like like crime scene investigation shows or like murder mystery books, like a copycat kind of thing, except I feel like our second culprit isn't really doing this to emulate the whatever happened at the first crime scene, but like maybe using it as a cover-up to try and push blame off on another group. And I say this because I met up with, oh my god, I forgot our mentor's name.
Rick.
I met up with Rick. Looking up him. I met up with Rick with the coterie, and he mentioned that he was looking into this, I guess, like hunter group. And I showed him the pictures that we had of the tags from the second crime scene, and he said it looks pretty similar to the tags used by that group, except for the last body that we found. The one that we couldn't really, that was, well, the gross one.
Yes. It was indeed gross. Yes.
Oh my god, sorry. Medication alarm.
All good.
Has Elaine, I know she requested a copy of the information about that hunter group from
I
Rick.
would say Rick would have been able to get that to you by now.
Okay.
It wouldn't have taken him too terribly long.
Sure. Then I think that what she'll do is she will kind of push over like a folder that she had already sitting on the coffee table for Merrick to look through and say, I asked if I could have his notes on that group because I'm wondering if this information might help you piece together something else as well. Just since you know a little bit more about the first crime scene too now.
And he'll take the folder and open it up and start sort of silently looking through the contents. And he'll just sit there and sort of, you can just sort of see the gears turning in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And
love a man who can think.
Yeah. And he said, aside from the missing body parts, the two crime scenes do appear rather similar and in line with the MO of this revenge group. But
do you think the first crime scene matches their style more so than the second one? Because you said there were no body parts missing from the first crime scene, correct?
Correct. And according to the Hound's case notes, it appears that those taking trophies does not appear to be in this group's MO. So I have two hypotheses going currently. Both lean with the first killings being genuine. Those Thin Bloods were killed by this revenge group, but the second killing was either also genuine and then someone came in and collected after the fact, or that this second one is potentially
like a mask.
Yeah, yes, a mask of some sort, and maybe like a staging to look like this group.
Right.
Though, yeah, but to try and hide ulterior motives, whatever those ultimately may be.
Sure, that's along the lines of what I was thinking as well. I think I'm leaning more towards the second one because I don't know, that crime scene we visited just seemed like, after reading Rick's notes, it seems both too convenient and also just the differences are stark enough that it would make you wonder why now, like why would you start taking these trophies if you're already kind of an established group that has an MO, has a style of carrying out these revenge killings and whatnot.
Agreed. That does sound like the stronger of the two hypotheses. That even if we come up with what exactly happened, that still doesn't. There's still the question of why. Why did this happen, and who did this?
Mm-hmm.
And also, this doesn't necessarily disprove that the whole revenge killing from the first scene is a one and done. They could come back. That's still a possibility, even if the second one is.
Which then makes two
fake.
different problems. That's not good.
No, it's not.
Well, as you know, I collected some things from the crime scene. And I asked Rick to see if it would be possible to set up a meeting with the, what's the term? I know this. Scourge?
Mm-hmm.
Yes! I wanted to use the right term.
Nailed
Set up
it.
a potential meeting with the Scourge, who might be able to, who might have a way to identify some of the contents that I took. She's not laughing. I am. She's taking evidence from the scene of crime.
Yeah. It's like police don't need this. It's fine.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like it's in an ice box or something. In a little baggies, like, all right, stay fresh and safe in there, out of sight. So, I was hoping to maybe meet with him this week and see if there's any other information that I could get.
That sounds like a good plan. The Scourge seems like a competent man. From what little I've interacted with him.
The very few times that I interacted with him, he definitely seemed incredibly competent and intelligent. But Rick did say he's got an interesting personality, but that's fine because I'm used to that. So I'll do my best to get some more information, but I see you've also brought a folder. Did you find anything else out?
I found the I looked into the wallet from the body that was in the closet, and I was able to find a name on one of the IDs, though the photo was smudged out or vandalized or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the name that I was able to get was Saris Williams. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
That feels like such a unique name. Would there be any kindred who, like, of note, whose name she's heard floating around that sound any, like, even slightly similar to that?
Make me an intelligence politics roll.
Never.
I refuse.
I refuse to do so. You can't make me. You said intelligence
And politics.
Intelligence and politics. Ooh. Okay. Tee, let's see what happens. First roll of the night. Please. Oh! I had 2 successes, 2 6s. I'll take it.
Okay. You do recall that there is a kindred around court who went by Saris. She seemed like a bit of a socialite and didn't seem to have any qualms with hanging out with any kindred from any side of the tracks. She just spent time with who she pleased. You don't really know a ton about her. You've seen her around a couple times, but as for like details about her or who she was specifically, you don't really know.
Okay. You said I've seen her possibly like a couple of times. Would that have been at something like maybe like Elysium?
Looking back, you saw her once at Elysium, and you also saw her at that underground party that...
Really?
Yeah, you saw her at that underground party where you were looking for Marcus, and then, had a threesome with him and Ephraim.
Okay, we're just gonna bring it up every couple episodes.
Look.
Hey, so somebody got some action in this game. He's gonna bring it up all the time.
Yeah, you guys just went for
as
it.
you
I'm so
should.
proud.
So I think that thinking like she's sitting and Evan's got her hand over her mouth and she's kind of just trying to recall. And she thinks, okay, I feel like I've heard of Osiris, maybe seen them at Elysium. That makes sense, but like what does that have, like, why would someone like that be connected to this? And then she recalls she's seen her more recently at the underground party. And so she will straighten up kind of with a look of surprise and say, oh, there's a kindred that I don't know personally, but kind of know of, Saris. And I wouldn't think that that necessarily means anything, but she was at this underground party that this like exclusive underground party that we had to get into when we were trying to find Marcus while working on that Thin Blood case.
Interesting.
That it's just kind of weird, right? It could be nothing, but I don't know. I just feel like that's a weird enough coincidence that feels like it would be stupid to discount it.
I agree that we shouldn't immediately dismiss the connection, but I also don't think we should immediately pull out the thumbtacks and string and try to make a conspiracy where there isn't one. But I think this definitely warrants a bit more looking into who exactly this Saris is or was, if they happen to be the body from the closet.
Right. Well, and that's what I was thinking. That's, I think, a way to find out if this is connected. Is this Sarah still around? When was the last time anyone saw her?
Yes. And also, if this does happen to be her, and she is a Camarilla kindred found dead in Anarch territory, that does not bode well.
At all. So, let me ask you a question then. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I should or I should not get anyone else involved in this that hasn't already been, just essentially meaning my coterie. Or should I also just now keep them apart from it? Because this could get very convoluted and troublesome very fast.
I would say, you see, he's like really contemplating about which way to go with this. I would say, trust your judgment, but be careful with who you tell certain details, because it may end up getting back to the wrong ears.
Okay. All right. Well, this was like a nuclear bomb. Wow. What a wait for the rest of the week, am I right? She's just kind of thinking. And looking a little bit nervous, probably, like not really making eye contact. She's thinking about the implications of if it turns out somehow that Camarilla-aligned kindred have died in Anarch territory, and that how that could really cause a different array of paths to open up, most of which are probably bloody. What that means, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And how stressful that is. And
Yeah.
also who she could potentially trust. So
Yeah. And
yep. Oh, yep.
nope. No, sorry. Okay, I was just gonna say that he would sort of like see her sort of turn away and start having all these potential thoughts and scenarios, and he'll sort of just like sit in that silence for a moment before putting his hand on your shoulder and say, "Don't worry yourself about worst case scenarios just yet. There's still more to figure out about this."
That's true. I shouldn't catastrophize when we don't even actually know any confirmations yet. So I'll just keep a handle on the fact that I'm gonna try and meet with the Scourge to get a little bit more information. And at least for like 24 hours, I'm just not gonna think about the other stuff. Hopefully that's okay. I just like 24 hours to process.
That is quite understandable. And then he'll sort of realize that he's just been keeping his hand on your shoulder this whole time,
Just stares at the hand
and just sort of like slowly and awkwardly pulls it back a little bit. Apologies.
No need to apologize. I'm just thinking, again, not to essentially catastrophize, but if this does go south in a way, where does that put you in a difficult position? I'm sure that even though you're, essentially aligned, welcomed in Camarilla territory, that some people probably still don't recognize that as well.
I'm unsure exactly where it'll go. I know that the powers that be will, at the very least, think wisely, even if their blood does start boiling with a rage over this worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
But as for all of the, I suppose, street level kindred or lower level grunts, it's more difficult to say. People already don't trust me as it is. So, what's a little push to people like that?
It's a good way to look at it. But they don't matter anyways. As long as the people who do matter trust you, that's all you can ask for.
No sort of smirk at that and say, I suppose that's a good way of looking at it as well.
Hold on, say. And while I may not necessarily fall into that group, I, for one, I believe I hold a certain level of trust for you.
And
you
I
haven't
you.
done anything to disprove it, so. Oh, thank you. So, what will you do next then about all of this?
I suppose I will poke around a bit more and see who may have interacted with this Saris within Ward 2 and if they have anything about her last known locations or what she had been up to. That's more or less my only lead at this point in time.
All right.
I suppose I could look more into this revenge group, but it seems like the Hound is already looking into them himself, so I might as well explore a different avenue.
Well, whatever you choose to do next, just be careful.
I will do my best. And you be careful as well.
Who's gonna hurt me? I don't even look like a threat. Her funny little one-off,
Yeah.
probably as time kind of ticks on. So
Yeah, and he'll sort of just like close up the folder and say, I think I've taken up enough of your time. I should let you get on with your evening.
Bean, you're not taking up time. I was just cleaning badly as she gestures to the end table that has glass shards underneath it. So, but if you have something you need to get to, that's fine. Otherwise, yeah, you're free to stay longer.
I just... Would you... I'll ask again, I suppose. Would you like assistance? It is good to keep a tidy home.
Invite someone over to your coterie, even and have them clean. Fantastic. You know what? Yeah, she'll just kind of chuckle and say, yes, help would be welcome. And you can start by grabbing the dustpan out of the kitchen so I can get the glass out of the carpet.
And then he goes and retrieves it, and we transition out of that little rom-com moment, and we fast forward a few nights. We fast forward a few nights. Ephraim, you're feeling much better. You went from being rock bottom to maybe you're on cloud 9 right now. I don't know.
Yeah, he's tried to, as best he can, try to put all this that's happened behind him, and try to focus on this potential new opportunity for him.
All right. Is he up to anything this evening? Anything he wanted to take care of, or anybody he wanted to talk to?
Probably going to swing by Diablo Club and just check how things are going. I mean, I guess he's sort of in a "we'll call you, don't call us" kind of thing, waiting basically to get a call.
Mm-hmm.
So he is going to try to go back to the things that make him comfortable, which are drinking the blood from young women, and
naturally,
yeah, and
it's the small comforts.
It is. I mean, it's this narcissistic animal thing in him.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably is just gonna post up at the at the bar, watch Jose's set. How is the reaction to Jose's set?
It's pretty positive.
Yeah.
The past several times you've been seeing it, you've sort of been seeing a slow but steady improvement in both his set and the crowd reaction to his performances.
Okay.
Still not nearly.
Well, no, of course not. Of course not.
Still not nearly as good as you, but
yeah.
But you can see his improvement.
Yeah. Yeah, if for some reason it seemed like he was getting more applause than Ephraim, then something would have to change. But for the moment, no, he's really as trying to, like I said, just relax. He feels like he probably has pushed the whole Nosferatu with the book thing about as far as it can go. Delilah didn't seem to care. And he feels like he's kind of reported as much as he can, kind of up the chain. And it's kind of up to them to decide what they want to do. So he's feeling like almost like a good soldier in a way, and is just kind of going back to status quo. So, I mean, the player knows he should probably check in with Yvain.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm going to roll a die for Ephraim and see if he has a heart tonight.
Yeah, just be like, I haven't heard from her in a few nights. I wonder what she's up to.
He will. He'll actually send her a message, just to check in. Which is probably gonna like knock her on her feet.
Be like, what?
Oh my God! After this person.
It's probably like, who died?
Who's dead? What happened?
It's like that relative you never hear from.
This is like what they talk about in Star Trek when you enter a different, like, warp timeline, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the mirror dimension.
The bizarro world. Yeah, he'll probably just send over sup.
Probably the most she could have hoped for.
Yeah.
And I think she sends back like 3 exclamation points. Like, what? This is wild. Which I'm sure is like, right. Hey, it's a little flattery to his ego, but she means it. She's like, what the fuck? He never messages any of us. So she'll say, Ephraim, it's been a minute, but I really need to talk to you.
He's like, come out to the Diablo Club.
Be there in 30.
Okay.
And yeah,
Sorry.
as you're... Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, no, sorry. My heart jumped because somebody finally came home and they spoke, but I have noise canceling headphones on. So I just about screamed into the microphone.
Do you need us to call 911?
Right.
It's like,
Somebody was
hello.
here to kill
It's
me.
like, hello. T is having a heart attack right now. Please get her help.
The call is coming from inside the house. So.
But as you're waiting for Yvain to show up, you hear one of your fangirls, Natalie, slide up to you and says, "Hey, bad boy, how have you been? You look like you have a bit more pep in your step."
He's like, I got more than you know. How you doing, girl?
Yeah. Not too bad. Been a while since you played. Or it feels like it anyway.
The legend lives on, though.
I suppose that's true.
But Jose's doing all right.
Yeah, he's good.
He's not me, but
No. But who is, other than you?
He actually wants to feed.
Okay.
So
I had a feeling that this is where it would go.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, this is horrible. The way he acts is absolutely horrible. But, but unfortunately, and I hate that excuse. Well, it's the character, but that is the character.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
He's an asshole. Yeah. So he will probably take her on the back and wants to slake a dot of hunger.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So
You bite into her, and she just leans right into it. It's the greatest thing she's ever felt in her life.
Yeah. And
yeah, afterwards, she's feeling a little woozy, but she'll be no worse for wear.
gives her a bloody kiss and sends her back out to the bar. He says, "Thank you, Natalie." Yeah. So.
Yeah, Natalie.
Yeah.
And she just sort of like starts swaying and stumbling her way back to the bar.
Yeah. He's like, he probably. They probably keep like cookies or something like that in the bar. Like when you give blood, they give you like cookies to help you replace.
Instead of keeping peanuts at the bar, they just keep cookies.
They probably do. Totally not suspicious.
No.
So,
they keep the cookies next to the peanuts.
But you're not even going to give them apple juice? Come on now.
no.
Something with electrolytes?
They're like, no. You want orange juice? Get a mimosa.
Exactly. Yeah. They make excellent.
$95.
Exactly. They make excellent mimosas here. So. we just call them a virgin mimosa. So. Yeah. So after he's done that, probably looking at his watch to see where Ivane is, because she said 30. So.
Yeah, maybe like another 10 minutes later, she finally ends up coming through the door.
Okay.
Yes. And this is not super important, except it is. She doesn't look like an art teacher who is 45 for once. She actually looks trendy for the club, so she doesn't embarrass Ephraim.
Of course. he just kind of looks her up and down. He's like, all right.
Ephraim, I'm so happy to see you. Do you have anywhere that we can talk? Maybe in private?
Yeah, he takes her back where he takes all the girls.
Great luck.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah, and I was you see the bartender be like 10 minutes after you went back there with the last girl. They see you going back with some other girl, and they're just like,
well,
never changes.
No, you know what? Let me change that. I will take that back. There's the office for his Walla, right? I always say that wrong.
Yes, his Mala, yes.
Walla, okay. He'll go up there. They'll go up there.
We're going the classy way.
Yes, yeah. You and I was like, yeah, we got to retcon that. Yeah, she's sure.
Like, no, I'm not going to my slutty little corner over there.
Yeah, no, he'll take her up to the office. So,
all right. You guys head on up, and you head into the office. It appears that Gremory is not in at the moment, so you have the space free to yourselves.
Okay. She'll just kind of find somewhere to just take a seat. Say, so okay. So I met with Merrick again.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about what we found out about, the crime scene. And there was a wallet on one of the bodies that possibly belonged to a Saris. I forgot the last name already.
Williams.
Williams.
Does that name mean anything to?
Make me an intelligence and politics roll.
Okay. I'm intolerant about my intelligence.
Yes, I'm so intolerant about it.
I think he's got. 2 successes, possible bestial failure.
All right, 2 successes, more or less the same information that Ivane could recall. You've seen her Since you frequent Elysium a bit more than Evane does, you would have seen her around a bit more there, and you would have recalled seeing her at that underground party that you had gone to when investigating Marcus.
Okay. All right, so this wallop belonged to them?
Yeah. It seems likely. Definitely a high possibility. You know what this means, right? That a Camarilla member would have been murdered in Anarch territory.
Well, we first got to ask, why would they be there?
Mm-hmm.
Were they just visiting? Or were they dirty?
And the only way we can start to piece that together is if we find out who she talked to and who the last person she talked to was.
Well, the last person she talked to is probably dead in that same room, I would think.
Perhaps if we get some names and we can't find them, this might help us identify the others. That's
because we weren't able to identify who the bodies were, right? We just found IDs and things.
Yeah, you couldn't tell who they specifically were. You could just tell by like the amount of like decomp on them that for kindred they must have either been thin bloods or very young by how like still intact they were. Whereas the one in the closet was much more decomposed. They were like still together, but they were in a much more state of decomp than the other ones that you had seen in there.
We, okay, dumb question. Was the wallet found on the one in the closet, or?
yeah.
The one in the closet.
Okay. All right. So it's possible she was hiding, or when all this happened and ran in the closet and hid. That, but we still don't know why they were there.
Do you think it's a coincidence, maybe, that she was at the same club that Marcus was at?
Nah, I don't think it's a coincidence at all. This makes me wonder then, is this something that Marcus started? Because his whole thing was like burning Kindred up, but maybe
what would Thin Bloods do with various body parts taken?
Maybe they have that sorcery or something they do. He doesn't. The character doesn't know the right term. I know it's alchemy, but
yeah.
But he's like, don't they do something like that?
I don't know I don't know that Eve knows much about Headbloods.
Yeah.
So I think she just kind of shrugs and says, maybe. I mean, that's definitely a possibility if that's true. I wonder, do you think Rick could get us an opportunity to speak with Marcus? Or is that push again?
Marcus is like staked and like stomped down, isn't he?
Last you saw Marcus, you saw the sheriff envelop him in a shadow and get sucked into the void.
Yeah, we can't talk to him.
So and the sheriff led you to believe he is still alive in there.
Yeah.
But
because I thought that they were gonna like probably I don't know, nothing pleasant, but like essentially Marcus has no choice in but being a pawn or a resource of information now. And I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Rick could maybe talk to the sheriff on our behalf and ask if we could
Yeah.
possibly ask a question
I don't know if
because it could be related to the Thin Blood case.
Yeah,
I don't know
and
if I
since
want to
it,
try to bring
yeah,
anybody
and
back from the Phantom Zone yet.
yeah,
So.
yeah, and since it has been months since that was the last place you saw him, for all you know, he could still be in there. He could have
Yeah.
been out, and they're like utilizing him for something or another. You don't know.
I don't know.
I will say though that just a little storyteller reminder. You whether you can still try and go to the Marcus route if you want to. That's fully your prerogative. But there is another Thin Blood that you may or may not have an easier time getting access to, since last you heard.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, since last you heard, Alyssa, who was the alchemist,
Yeah.
that sort of went turncoat, is more or less on probation at this moment in time.
Yeah, I'd rather go that option, I think.
That's so much smarter. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you, because we forget all this shit.
I mean,
Yes.
I mean, no problem, no problem. I fully would have enjoyed seeing you try and meet with Marcus again. But
It was just an excuse to see the sheriff, of course.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so where would we find Alyssa then?
Last you heard, she is on probation at the Tremere Chantry.
Oh. And the Tremere might be really interested in what's going on too. So might be able to earn a favor with them. Because they'd definitely be interested if there's any kind of sorcery hocus pocus going on.
That is their jam.
Well, couldn't hurt.
I wonder if... I think Ephraim would have the balls now to just show up on their doorstep. Because he was always going through Rick.
Mm-hmm.
The player says no. But Ephraim...
The player's saying this is a bad idea.
The player's saying that's a bad idea, but...
Do it.
But,
Do
yeah,
it.
Yeah, but I'm thinking Ephraim is going to take Yvain and see if they can just show up at the Tremere Chantry.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is a great idea. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Nothing could possibly go wrong. Yeah. I always keep a backup character in mind.
Just in case anything goes horribly wrong out of nowhere.
What do you want on your tombstone?
Showed up at the Tremere Chantry uninvited. So.
They said no soliciting, okay?
Yeah, exactly. You know, just knock on the door. Would you like to hear about brand new windows for your house? So.
Your car's extended warranty.
Your car's extended warranty. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna drive over, and
this is now a buddy cop movie.
Exactly. In a world where two vampires show up at the wrong place at the wrong time. And
all hell breaks loose.
Exactly. all hilarity breaks loose.
Where shiitake mushrooms hit the fan.
Oh my gosh, okay, we just gotta get a budget for the movie, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, we just have to film this movie and make it happen. Anyway, so you hop in the car and drive on over to the Tremere Chantry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So yeah, do you park like right outside? Do you park like a few blocks down?
Usual block or two away. And
All
walk
right,
away.
all right. And you walk up and just walk straight up to the door.
Do the secret knock. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I picture there's like one of those old school like metal knockers.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
definitely the kind of place that has like one of those old school like Victorian knockers or whatever.
but with a Ring camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just knock on the door.
All right, you knock on the door, and yeah, a bit of time goes by before the door opens up a bit, and you see a familiar face as this is the young woman who has greeted you at the door every other time you've come here, and she
works nights. So.
And she just looks at you and says, "Oh, it's you. You didn't have an appointment."
I didn't. I was hoping I could just speak to someone about a quick question, if that would be all right.
And who would you like to speak to?
And the player already forgot her name.
Alyssa.
Alyssa. Sorry. I was thinking Annalise or something like that. So
Annalise?
Yeah, I don't know.
Fair enough.
Names escape me. What? Could I speak to Alyssa, please?
She's quite busy at the moment.
Anyway, I could make an appointment to speak with her.
It depends on what you want to speak with her about.
Breaks out his phone. He goes, "I can tell you when's good for me."
Of what do you wish to speak with her about?
I know she's had some experience with what's the right term for what they call her? Thin blood, Duskborn.
It's all the same.
I just want to see if she could help me with some things I uncovered in the Anarch territories.
And you see that sort of piques her interest a little bit.
He's gonna slide his foot just in the door.
Honestly, as soon as you do that, you feel a burning sensation in your foot.
All right, pulls his foot back. All right, burning sensations are bad. Okay. And he's like, yeah, there's some stuff going on with some missing body parts, some people of our stature going missing.
And she sort of like adjusts her glasses really quickly and says, "Wait here." And she closes the door.
All right. Not an immediate no. So.
And Vane immediately is like, "Well, she seemed nice."
Yeah.
And I don't really like people kind of way.
I think Wednesday will be back out to talk to us in a few moments. So.
Wednesday?
Yeah.
About 5 minutes goes by.
Okay.
Before she returns and opens up the door fully this time and says, "You're allowed a supervised visit."
I wouldn't expect anything less. Thank you.
And
straightens his jacket a little bit and gets his swagger back. And
and says, "You can find her in Pierce's office."
Okay.
Thank you.
From
He was
what I
gonna-
recall, you've been there before.
I remember the way.
I'm sure you do.
All right, and he'll not rush, but take his time walking over there.
Yes,
So-
and as you're walking there this time, unlike previous times, you see that she is following you.
Well, of course, yeah, it's fully expected. I have a target on my back. So
And ooh. Yvain's going to very, very quietly whisper, "Is it me or is there like tension between the two of you?"
just a bit. We used to date.
Really?
He's gonna just look at Evain like, no.
Oh. Aw.
He's
She's
like,
like,
He goes, I don't go for goth girls.
I want to know what she looks like right now.
Yeah.
So bad, so bad. I can't
I was like,
turn
right.
around.
I would say right now, she's not very goth looking. She, by and large, she looks like a very bookish kind of girl for the most part. She has a sort of
Naughty
loose,
librarian. So
yeah, yeah. She has a loose, pulled back ponytail. She has circular glasses, and she's sort of dressed up almost as if she's like at a private institution, more or less.
I let the comments stay. I don't go for goth girls.
She's goth on the inside.
Exactly.
Just by being Tremere, she's goth.
Exactly. So,
And eventually you make it down the stairs and down the hallway to Pierce's office, and you just head on in.
nope. Knock.
All right. Knock, and you just hear, "Come in."
Opens the door.
And you walk in and you see Alyssa sitting down in a chair, and Pierce sitting behind their desk, and Pierce says, "Please come in and shut the door."
Good evening, Pierce.
Good evening. And you notice when Pierce is talking, their voice is a bit higher than, like they're speaking at at a slightly higher register than the last time you were here. And also, they're acting a tad more warm towards you.
Okay.
And they say, "Thank you, Dorothy, for bringing them here."
And he'll turn around. Thanks again, Dorothy.
And she nods and then closes the door and stays in the room with you.
I feel the daggers in my back already. Yeah, he'll turn to Pierce and say, "Sorry to show up interrupted or uninvited, but we did have some questions for Alyssa in regards to some things that have happened over in Ward 2. I'm not sure if you've heard anything."
I can't say that we have.
I'd like to actually, before we launch into our tale, now you got me interested about Pierce. Sense the Unseen, you said, was always kind of on.
Yeah, it's basically always on unless you specifically turn it off for whatever reason. Yeah, so it lets you see hidden things and all that.
I'd like to kind of look around, like his desk, like right behind him, to see if I notice anything.
All right. Make me a wits awareness roll.
Okay. And I'm gonna blood surge. Three successes.
All right, 3 successes. You look around the room, and like more specifically, like sort of like in Pierce's immediate area, and you see there are like some, runes, sort of like hidden on the wall, sort of around the entire room. But you don't see anything specifically like behind Pierce or like near him that's like standing out that the naked eye wouldn't be able to see normally.
Okay. He's gonna kind of go over to where Alyssa is, and
she's sort of like sitting at a table, and it seems to be set up where there's another chair sat directly across from her where you could sit down.
Does it look like she's working at like a task or something? Like they have her working? Not
currently. Currently, okay. It looks like they specifically set her up because you wanted to talk to her.
As I said, he rates. He Alyssa, how are they treating you here? With kind of a drip of sarcasm in his voice.
Like a second-class citizen, but what the hell else was I gonna expect? It's better than being dead.
It's true. Now this is where the player is trying to think about how he wants to. T, are you back? I mean, not yet.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Do you want to? Because I think we ought to give kind of a recap of what we found in was it Ward 2? I think it was. Or do you want to ask Alyssa first questions about like what the Thin Bloods can do with the if they do any rituals with body parts, or I don't know. What do you think?
Yes. Yes. But I want to like get a read on the Tremere in the room with us currently.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And just kind of I'm just kind of looking to get a vibe for how they are feeling about what Ephraim has said essentially so far.
All right. Make me a wits insight roll.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I got 2 successes.
2 successes. As far as you can tell, Pierce seems intrigued by what has been brought to the table, and it seems that Dorothy is also intrigued, but more so she is here sort of like as a secondary witness, is sort of what you can gather by her posture and sort of just general demeanor.
Okay. All right. So it's oh my god, it's like way harder to figure out what is enough information but not too much.
Right. Actually,
Share.
before you do that, let me ask one question. The runes that we see, any of them familiar?
Make me a intelligence occult roll.
Okay. Oops. Wait, did that wrong here.
Bless you.
And a blood surge on that one. Four successes.
4 successes. You do sort of like look around and you see some that look similar to ones that you've seen on the outside of the like chantry building itself, but they seem a bit more like specific in a way. What you gather that like from your sort of base general knowledge about the Tremere and things that you've heard, you gather that these are probably some sort of warding runes.
Okay. But nothing that I recognize from the crime scenes.
Yes. No, nothing that you recognize from the crime
That's
scene.
all I wanted to. Okay.
Specifically, just Tremere, witchy, creepy shit.
Okay. Okay, that works. Okay. I'm sorry, Vane. Go ahead. Or he doesn't say that. He just.
Yes. He would never
Wait.
apologize.
Oh, hell no.
All right, continue. Okay, so well, I think it's best to start with myself and my coterie members have opted to help look into a string of sudden kindred deaths happening in Ward 2.
And as soon as you say that, Pierce will sort of speak up and say, "And what interest do you have in the deaths of anarchs?"
Oh, this is gonna be so difficult.
All right. I can. He can kind of jump in. Says,
Please, yeah.
a mutual acquaintance asked for our assistance. It seemed that this incident was something that they didn't want publicized, but after what we found, there was no way we could not share what we knew with our valuable friends.
A mutual acquaintance. And who would that be?
He wants to throw her under the bus. No, and go. Well, it wasn't my friend. It was hers. No.
Oh, no. I barely know the guy.
I barely know the guy. I want to see if he can get out of this.
Just throw himself into the lion's den and be like, I didn't think this through.
Well, he has subterfuge covering up a mess because he basically just wanted to throw that bait out, and he got their attention, but he doesn't want to give them a name though.
Okay, so you want to like come up with something?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
what do you tell them?
There was as much as no one likes talking to them, a ghoul who was working with these anarchs. I mean, the lowest of the low had revealed this information to our coterie, and again we went there and we found quite a mess. Let me tell you, I've seen some things in the past, but it was just bad.
Make me a manipulation subterfuge roll.
Please. All right. Blood search.
Blood search again.
Yeah. Oh shit, he's at 4 hunger now.
Wow. Okay. This might get interesting.
3 successes.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. You sort of like see like a slight. Actually, make me a wits insight roll real quick.
Wits insight. Okay. Not blood searching, so.
Just go to hunger 5 right away.
1 success.
1 success. It's not super overt, but you sort of like see a slight shift in Pierce's posture, and say a ghoul. Interesting. And this ghoul told you about this crime scene?
They did. And then they were murdered later.
This ghoul was murdered?
They were. It seems like somebody found out about what they had done and tried to cover that up as well.
And what does... my apologies. Continue.
Oh, I was going to say, let's just get to the meat of the matter, shall we? I mean, enough of this underling. I think what you probably really want to know is, what did we find? I wish there was fast talk on this game like in Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's just like... Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he's going to try to shift them off that, and... Here's the part you really want to hear about, but that's up to you.
Right. Amuse me. What do I want to hear?
And he's going to look at Evane, and before the player does anything, he's going to check with the other player. How comfortable are you with what I want to share? I basically want to put my cards on the table and just about tell him everything. But should we talk to Alyssa first? Ask her our questions first.
I really
dragged you into a great one, didn't I?
Yeah.
You wanted to hang out with Ephraim, now you're with Ephraim.
What do you mean I have to deal with the consequences of my actions?
They're not going to call him anything.
I mean, Evane really wants to know. Evane really wants to get information from Alyssa first.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the way that this conversation is now set up is that I think that path is kind of a little impossible at the time being. And so that... I mean, we have to share information. I just don't know that we should share all.
What I thought what I was gonna do was mention that it seemed like maybe somebody was trying out some kind of thin blood sorcery, because we saw all these bloody marks and and it seems like maybe the attacker might have come in. We weren't sure what time they came in, right? I mean, like did we ever determine like they came in during the day or they? I can't remember.
You had a rough estimate that they had probably only been deceased for a few hours was Opal's guess, but due to the rapid decomp of the kindred physiology, it was ultimately a bit difficult to tell.
Okay. Because what I thought about doing again was kind of trying to frame it as as a guy who knows nothing about the occult, although I actually bought a dot of occult. I just spent 3 experience points. That the only experience he's had recently was with our friend Marcus doing his hocus pocus, so maybe this was something associates of Marcus, Sabat. And then as a way I can then turn my attention to Alyssa. Go, hey, what do you know about the occult? And so that maybe we can steer it that way.
Yeah, and Pierce doesn't seem to prevent you from doing this.
Okay.
After all, seemingly you wanted to talk with her specifically, so the interest is piqued there.
Yeah.
And Alyssa says, you thought it was some thin blood shit because of body parts missing from people.
Yeah. Somebody cutting up kindred. And he's going to say it with a hint of venom in his voice because he doesn't consider her kindred. And taking those parts away and drawing bloody symbols on the wall seemed kind of creepy to me.
And
oh wow.
and Alyssa will say, I'm sure there's probably some messed up thin blood alchemy that requires body parts or whatever. But that's not exactly anything special, because I know there are some blood sorcery rituals that require eating fucking eyeballs and looking over she sort of looks over towards Pierce, and it looks like she's about to say more specifically towards Pierce when Pierce makes a sort of zipped lip gesture, and she loses her ability to talk to them. And then and then all of a sudden she's like, fine, and she turns her attention back to you. And
Faye doesn't say it, but she's thinking, I fucking said this, that they do weird to Tremere. Weird that it could also be someone from Tremere. Just saying. Anyways, do weird shit.
And she says, anyway, just because Marcus was up to some weird shit doesn't mean you gotta throw all your issues at us. Maybe it was us. Maybe it was thin blood shit. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
It's more that I think we're wondering if this is connected to other things Marcus was doing.
Like what? I mean, as far as I'm aware, slicing up chunks of people wasn't exactly his MO.
Is there anybody else you knew who liked to do that?
Yeah, was Marcus at the, I guess, zenith of the hierarchy, or did he ever seem to disappear for periods at a time to go deal with other matters, report to other people?
She sort of like sits there thinking something over for a minute. I mean, I know there was... I guess there was this one guy that he would go see sometimes. I never met him. I don't even know what he looks like, but I guess he was interested in how, I guess, like what made us tick. He seemed to be interested in Marcus specifically, but I think he was also just generally interested in the Duskborn condition. I don't really know. Like I said, I've never seen the guy, and whenever Marcus would always talk about him, he would just call him L. But
L.
So I don't know. Maybe this L guy, whoever he is, or they are, or whatever, maybe they know something about it. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
Ephraim will look over at Pierce. I just thought it would be a good way to share information that, again, somebody is cutting up Kindred for
Anarchs.
what? Granted, they're anarchs, but still, they are our kind, and who knows if they're gonna come after us. Maybe they get a taste for better blood.
And Pierce says, "Our kind." Interesting phrasing, seeing as you speak with Alyssa with such venom when referring to the Mercurians.
I'm better than her. I admit it.
But you do admit that they are one of us. The sentiment didn't seem to be there a moment ago.
And he'll look over at her and be like, we all got parts of the family we're not real proud of.
This is wild.
He's hangry right now, so he's...
That's like literally just what Yvain says. She staples her fingers together and she's kind of looking around the room slowly at everyone and she goes, "This is wild. What's going on right now?"
I think we've probably taken up as much of your time as we can. Again, just wanted to share some information with you, Pierce. You've been a valuable friend to me.
And that actually gets a laugh out of Pierce. Friends.
He's not above kissing guys.
Is that what we are? You're saying you are my colleague and my equal?
I don't think I ever said equal. I said friend.
Can you really be friends with those beneath you?
I'll look back over at Alyssa again and be like, I suppose not. Now, how to stroke his ego? Let's see.
What do you intend to do with this information?
Well, it's always best to kick it up the chain first. I mean, as loyal members of the Camarilla, it's my duty to report what I see. Unless you think that's a bad idea. Now I want to gauge his his expression then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, make me a wits insight roll.
Okay. I am waiting for my server here to but wits insight. Okay. And then he is definitely grabbing a snack after this.
Finding one of the E's outside.
Yeah. Bethany, maybe. Let's see. Sorry.
All good.
Wits insight. It literally just went down to just
The most ideal timing.
exactly. Wits insight. Wits insight. Three successes.
3 successes.
Mhm.
All right. You it's sort of when you first walked in here, they Pierce seemed to be a bit, warmer than you remember him
Mhm.
being the last time.
Yeah.
But sort of over the course of this sort of just like whole interaction and exchange and transfer of knowledge and all that, you've sort of seen him, sort of slowly notice him sort of like fluctuate in sort of moods. There was one point where he seemed to be getting a bit more passionate, and now he just appears cold.
Yeah, Ephraim knows he's worn out his welcome. So, but yeah, he just wanted to throw that comment out there, like, unless you don't think I should be kicking it up the chain. So.
And who would you bother with this information?
I probably would start with maybe the sheriff. Just as again, to protect our own interests. Again, if someone is off killing anarchs, that doesn't mean they're not going to come over here eventually. Isn't it better to be prepared for such things?
And who are you afraid of is going to start killing us?
Well, psychos who like to cut body parts up and draw bloody things on walls. I've never been a fan of such things. Unless you don't think that's a threat to anybody, then...
It does not appear to be a threat to us. I admit this whole ordeal is intriguing, to say the least, and the revelation of this, and he sort of looks over at Alyssa. L individual. Though I do not see why, at this point in time, you would waste the sheriff's valuable time with functionally nothing.
Again, see something, say something.
What is Pierce? Like, what is Pierce's full name?
Israel Pierce. Pierce is his last name.
L. Israel. L.
TR's gone conspiracy mode.
Yeah, I think you're reaching.
L.
You have L in your last name. Maybe it's you. No.
Your name ends in L. It's you. I know it.
Storyteller has 2 of them in there. I don't know. Anyway.
And eventually it's sort of, he just says, do what you will and live with the consequences. Dorothy.
Right.
And
Can
Dorothy.
I also try to get a read on Pierce before we get thrown out of here.
All right. Sort of like, what exactly are you trying to gauge from Pierce?
Is this outburst because Pierce truly thinks that this is nonsense?
Yeah.
Or is this outburst because Pierce is getting defensive and cagey?
Make me a wits insight roll.
Insight. And then I would also like to blood surge.
All right.
And I know I ask this every time, but how many dice does that add to? Is it one?
You gotta roll 2 extra dice.
2. Okay. Cool. 7. Okay. Well, I got 3.
Okay.
Wait, can I re-roll if I use a willpower? Is that how willpower
Yes.
functions?
If you burn a willpower, you can re-roll up to 3 non-hunger dice.
Cool, because I would love to do that. So let me mark down a willpower. Okay. 3. Let's go. Okay. So then that brings me to 5 successes.
5 successes. Okay. You a sort of like surface level reading. You get the impression that Pierce genuinely believes that you don't really actually have anything of value to present to someone as high up as the sheriff, so you would just be wasting the sheriff's precious time, and then subsequently deal with whatever fallout you may deal with. But you also sort of just like note separately from that compared to the person you were, greeted with when you first walked in, it almost feels like you're talking to a different person right now.
I don't know what to do with this information.
I think we should just make a retreat.
Leave for now.
Yeah.
Dorothy opens up the door for you.
Always a pleasure, Pierce.
As you say.
Man, I thought he was my boy. So, all right. No, you don't say that.
Wild.
And as you're walking out, you just hear Alyssa yell, "Later, losers!"
Oh, okay, wait, it was Alyssa. For some reason, I thought it was Dorothy, and I was
No.
like, "That's wild."
No, it was Alyssa. Dorothy does follow you out the rest of the way, though.
Ephraim will make a comment. I'll put some money in your commissary.
I'm guessing it's impossible to get Alyssa's number before they kick us out of here.
It would, on the current social climate, could prove a challenge, but I would not say it's necessarily impossible.
Can I friend you on Facebook?
Can I just kind of Can I just like kind of slyly, not slyly, like just as we are, as the energy in the room is turning towards, well, it's time to make an exit. Just naturally float into, well, thank you for having us, and letting us confer with the both of you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night. Alyssa, it's wonderful to see you're doing well. And, oh, here, you should add me on this. It's like, I don't know, fucking Snapchat or something. The little thing that you can grab from the thing. Do it. Do it. She's thinking so intensely in her head. Fucking do it. Hurry. Please.
Quick, Molly, come on.
But Evane's just trying to very confidently do this. Like she's trying to present like a calm, confident front of like, why would this be an issue for her to do this, right? They know that we know Alyssa. We helped keep Alyssa set Alyssa up with the option of not dying, right? So this isn't weird. It's only weird if we make it weird.
Make me a composure persuasion roll.
Okay. Oh, please. What do I have in composure? I love it if it was decent. Oh, it is! Hallelujah. Okay, you said composure persuasion. Cool. Alright. All right, 3 successes.
All right. You see that Alyssa sort of sees the information and just writes down your handle real quick. And Pierce sees this exchange and says nothing.
Okay. Awesome. And then Evane will be like, ciao. And it's gonna follow Dorothy, or is not Dorothy's not leading us out.
No, she is following you out.
So she'll just fall in kind of at Ephraim's side.
And they'll just walk out with another word. So,
all right.
Probably not gonna say anything until I get back to the car.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's met.
Oh, that was really, really tense. Why was he like that?
I don't know. And she's met him before, right? Was that? I think she's. Did she go, or was it only Delilah?
I would say I don't think she has. I think this was
okay.
I think this was Evane's first time at the Chantry.
Okay. Yeah, he's usually a lot cooler than that. It seems like he's got something up his ass tonight. I don't know. And he really didn't seem to care that somebody's basically doing their blood tricks. And I kind of figured they might be a little more suspicious about who can do that stuff. I mean, I would think they'd be all guarded about that, but he didn't really seem to care.
I mean, you obviously know him better than I do.
Thought I did. I was asking to be on my bowling team, but
Faye just kind of pauses and stares at Ephraim like, Like the thought of Ephraim in bowling shoes
Oh, they get
and a
bowling shirts.
bowling
Oh, that'd be
league
awesome.
shirt,
Oh, that would be awesome. They get matching shirts and all that. Yep. Anyway,
kind
so
of kind of disgusts her, but she's trying to be
Mm.
nice and not make a face, but like you can tell she's making a not face.
Ephraim is actually trying to make an effort making jokes with her. I mean, he's
It's just like,
maybe the ice
oh,
is cracking just a little bit.
it's like a bowling league. Well, maybe it's just something else is going on. For all we know.
Alyssa was pretty cocky for a prisoner.
Their relationship seemed very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, she could have been staked and done, and you know what's funny is, I don't know, maybe the Tremere let thin bloods in there. I always thought they were more picky about who they let in. I mean everybody talks shit about my clan, so I don't know.
I got the feeling that he thinks that it would be a waste of time for us to take this to anyone else as of right now.
It's trying to
But
dissuade us from.
I mean, but I also just can't let go of the feeling that his attitude was way too aggressive, way too suddenly
Yeah.
for it to not be strange.
And the joke's on him because we've already told the powers that be about this. I don't know did we talk to the sheriff? We only talked to Rick, I think, and he said he was going to take it under advisement or something. Or
You told Rick, and he said he would basically make note of it and look into it on the side, but that he wouldn't really take it to like the sheriff or the prince or anything like that, because he knew that they probably in the current circumstances of what's going on, they probably wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pierce doesn't need to know that. So a lot of people are kind of casual about this. Oh, they're cutting up Kindred and taking parts, and oh, that sucks. You know,
It's not our problem until it's
Well, and that's basically maybe Ephraim is crying wolf, but it's just a matter of time until somebody gets killed over here. So, but again, he's a loyal Camarilla soldier. He's kind of done his part. He's kind of escalated up the chain.
Reported to HR.
HR. Exactly. and no one seems to care. So he's almost to the point where he's like, maybe I shouldn't care anymore either.
Well, Alyssa did get my information down. So
let's see what happens with that.
Yeah. I want to see if I can maybe probe her for a little more information on who this L person could possibly be, like any other identifiers, any other information she heard.
Right. Because she knew Marcus was going somewhere and talking to somebody, but it just strikes him as just odd that everyone's just so casual about this. I mean, maybe they're just bigger monsters than he is, and they just cut up bodies and throw them around because it's Tuesday. I mean,
I just don't really understand what. Well, maybe it's because I don't know anything about blood sorcery really or whatnot. I just don't understand what use in taking small pieces of body parts from kindred would do to give you some sort of advantage or edge, or what's the point?
Well, we went to the experts, and they don't seem to be interested. So I don't know where else to take this line of questioning.
Well, maybe you, myself, and Delilah should all meet together and go over information. I haven't seen Delilah in a second, so maybe another perspective will help us see something that we missed.
All right. I'll come to the coterie house tomorrow night.
Wonderful. You should check out your room.
You keep telling me about it.
Yes.
He's like thinking it's like his, like his high school room, and his mom keeps it up.
She like
Just in
slowly
case he visits.
Exactly.
just like slowly keeps adding stuff to his room that like it's just like, this reminds me of Ephraim. Oh, maybe Ephraim was like little knickknacks thing.
Do they keep a girl on standby in case you get a little peckish overnight?
Yup.
Just a little nibble on something.
Yes, I know you like those little stripper girls or whatever that always end in like Y or IE for whatever reason. So I made sure to keep a Courtney and a Brittany on standby.
Speaking of which, he does need to feed. He is hunger 4. So
okay. And you are a scene queen, correct?
yeah. So
Okay.
he really wants to go back to the club and.
All right. All right. You can make a pit stop at the club and make me a hunting roll. To see if you can find any of your babes.
What am I rolling for hunting?
Let me double check on scene queen. Manipulation and persuasion.
Oh, awesome. Eight successes, messy critical.
Oh my. Okay. Well, you do see
Whitney.
I would say you see you see Stacy and Tracy.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, you see the two of them, and they're sort of just like laughing and giggling and just like having a grand time.
Yeah, he'll slide up to him, kind of put his arms around him, just maybe a little faster than he normally does.
Okay.
And he says, "Hey, girls, want to party?"
And Tracy just says, "Hell yeah, we want to party." You can tell that they're a little drunk already.
Like shooting fish in a barrel. All right, he's gonna take them back to his secret spot, and
All right. You take them back.
kind of play around with both of them, and try to at least get. Now, if I feed from both of them, I can't reduce 2 dots, can I?
Yeah.
I think you're only supposed to do 1 at a time.
Hypothetically, who knows?
That's up to the storyteller. I mean, I'd love to
Yeah.
lose 2 dots of hunger, but if you only let me lose 1,
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I guess first off, who do you go for? Tracy or Stacy?
Stacy, of course.
Stacy, naturally. Good old reliable Stacy.
Alphabetical.
And you see Tracy sort of just like leans back and is sort of just like waiting her turn.
She likes
And
to
she does like to watch. She she likes getting the attention, but she likes to watch also. And you sink your teeth into Stacy, and she really like leans into it, like having the time of her life. And make me a willpower roll.
All right. Success.
Right. What did you roll?
A 1. It's just one. I just rolled willpower. I just got one.
It only rolled one die.
Yeah.
All right. Make me a. Okay, instead of that then, because I don't know what that's about. Make me a composure plus resolve roll instead then.
Okay. Composure. One success.
Okay. You sink your teeth into Stacy, and it's the most delicious thing you've ever tasted in your life. And you don't know what she's been drinking, but it had to have been the good shit, because you can't remember the last time blood tasted like this. In fact, it's so good you can't stop. You just keep going and going, and before eventually you feel her like start convulsing in your arms. But even then, you can't stop. You just keep going before eventually the convulsions stop, and she goes limp in your arms. And at first, Tracy seems like, oh, this is a bit different. Oh, I wonder what's going on. And then as she sees the blood in your mouth and the blood trickling down the side of Stacy's neck and her laying limp in your arms, she immediately starts screaming.
Okay.
And losing her mind.
I'll look her in the eye and cloud memory. She tried to basically make her forget that's like the last few minutes. So.
All right.
2 successes.
Okay. Let me see what the contest for that is real quick to see if that is effective right now. Okay, dominate. Cloud memory, opposing pool. Okay. She won't be terribly high in this, so there's a good chance you'll be fine. All right, 2 successes. All right, her screaming stops and her eyes sort of like cloud over, and she becomes sort of like disoriented for a minute. And while she's sort of like regaining her composure, what you gonna do with this dead body you got on your hands now?
Well, he's leaning in to Tracy and then like, you lost track of Stacy. You don't know what happened to her tonight. I think maybe she might have just wandered out of the club on her own. Damn, she was driving too. And he says, just go. You just need to go sit down for a little bit. You just had too much to drink. You're a little upset.
All right. Make me a manipulation persuasion roll.
Okay. Can I substitute subterfuge because I'm trying to cover up a mess?
I'll allow it, yes.
Okay.
And also you're at hunger 0 right now, so.
Okay. Alrighty. Manipulation and I am using using my specialty. Okay. Three successes.
She's like, oh, damn, okay. And she sort of like starts stumbling her way out. And as she sort of like exits, you can sort of like hear from the outside someone say, "Are you okay? I thought I heard screaming in there." And she says, "Shut up! I gotta find Stacy," and she just wanders off.
He I'm gonna say, if you'll allow this, that
Maybe
he
not.
he would have chosen a spot that if something does go wrong, there's a way to quickly get to, like, the kitchen or like the back door. I mean, it's not an obvious place he takes them.
Mm-hmm.
So that he would have enough foresight that if I ever do need to make a quick exit from here, I can.
I will allow it, but I will still require a even if it is like access to like immediately outside or whatever, which I think would totally be fine. I will still require a Dex plus stealth roll to take this dead body out with you without anybody seeing it.
Fair enough. Could I suggest larceny instead of stealth? Disposing of a body?
Property crimes. No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
That's fine. Just thought I'd ask. So, okay.
I'm like, that might be stretching larceny just a tad.
Just thought I'd ask. Okay. And one success.
One success. Okay. So where are you taking her? Where are you taking this dead body?
Probably out to his car. I'm gonna throw her in the trunk for now.
Okay. Yvain, are you still in the car right now?
Yes.
Okay. You see Ephraim dragging a dead woman, or seemingly a dead woman, out of a back door to the club that you'd never seen before, and over to his car where he opens up the trunk and throws her inside.
Yvain's gonna kinda stare wide-eyed. And then
Slam the trunk.
poke her head out of the window a little bit and say, "Should I go?"
It's up to you. It's a cold night. Do you want to ride?
What is happening? What was that? What? It's been 10 minutes.
Do you want to ride or not?
I mean, I would love a ride, but...
All right. He's just going to get in, turn on the car.
Are you good?
He's like, yeah, I had a problem with something.
You think?
And as you peel out of your driving spot, you see a few people who must have seen something run out towards it where you are before you peel off into the night, leaving them in the dust. And that is where we'll stop tonight, I think.
All right.
Oh no.
You will punish. We are punished for our sins.
Yeah. As soon as you're like,
I didn't think you were gonna say, I'm gonna just take take the dead body to the car. I didn't think you were gonna go outside. I thought you were gonna be like, you have some kind of I don't know, trap
No,
door.
no, because he would have enough respect for his walla, walla or
Mala.
walla. Okay, is the W silent? It's just
Well, I guess it's like maw, but
okay. That he's not gonna shit where he eats. He's not gonna leave dead bodies around for he has enough respect. So.
I just meant like a place to store it until the time that you can move it later in the night.
He's a
When it's
little
not so
unpredictable
busy.
tonight.
yeah,
Well,
doesn't everyone have a body chute that just leads into their basement?
I didn't want to assume that.
Yeah, that might have been pushing it a little bit,
yeah.
especially since this is not your haven at all.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he's not going to do that. He's not. He has respect. And it was his
Jane
best
is
to clean
so concerned right now.
Yeah.
She's extremely concerned. Everything just got really bad really, really quickly.
You wanted to hang out with Ephraim. This is his world.
That's so funny because I feel like the past however many months in game that have gone on, that we haven't seen Ephraim do this.
Yeah. I was like, also, I think that would definitely have warranted a stain for sure.
Oh yeah.
Which we might as well just resolve right now.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming your humanity is 7.
I believe so. Where is that on my sheet? Let's find it here. Yes.
Okay. Then so with 1 stain, you'll have a buffer of 2. So roll me 2 dice.
Okay. Let's see. Not that. Oh, shit. Come on. Wait. All right. A 10 and a 7.
All right. That is all you needed was 1. So
Okay.
your humanity does not drop.
Okay.
You feel remorse, and you feel remorse for your reaction to at least some extent, and your humanity does not drop.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
So, well, that was a shitty thing I did. Anyway.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. He's. I told you he's really not a nice person. So.
I can't get the image of Evade's eyes just getting as wide as 2 saucers as he just fucking carries a dead body or drags a dead body out. And she's still sitting in the car like, what?
He did offer to let her out though, so that she wouldn't be involved in this.
I think she was too shocked to even move.
I thought you had more decorum than this.
No, apparently not.
It's just that it's so out of left field.
I mean, I guess he could have thrown her in the back seat.
And also, why? Why? Oh shit!
Oh, there's this little somber I really want to try out. So no, just kidding. No. No. All right. Well, thank you, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
Another fun game as always.
Definitely got very chaotic at the end there, but yeah.
Sorry.
No, all good.
Yeah.
That's what happens sometimes.
She is never going to go anywhere from ever again, I think.
Just like, all right, note to self, whenever Ephraim texts me, ignore it.
Exactly.
Don't talk to him again.
Don't talk to him ever again.
Only be the first person to text him. If he texts you, don't respond.
I thought I'd give her a night kind of like training day, So All right. Well, we will be back next Friday night. I think we're still on for that next Friday night.
Indeed.
Okay. And that is actually our next game here on the channel. We have nothing else next week. Everybody in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving next week. And enjoy yourselves, and we will be back next Friday night. So,
Yeah.
good night.
Good night, everybody.
All righty.
Signing
Bye.
off.
Bye.